guys, I thought I'd do a quick review for Unit 2. It's a lot, so I know that preparing for the quiz might be a little tricky, so I wanted to highlight just a few quick things to know. Okay, from lesson like Unit 2 or Module 2, Lesson 1, gets into genetics. There's a few things you just need to know. In particular, you want to know like the identical twins are mono. Remember, mono means one, so one zygote that splits, and fraternal will be di. And then a tiny bit about chromosomes right here. You want to make sure that you just go through how many chromosomes there are total. And the big issue there about nature versus nurture, for sure. And I think that's going to cover just the big points there in the lesson 1. Okay, in lesson 2, it's going to get into the basics of the neuron. Let me just point out a few things you want to really highlight in studying for the quiz. Okay, so you have billions, about 100 billion or so, plus or minus a few, neurons in your body. You want to know just the very basics of the parts of a neuron, how it works. And then you want to know a tiny bit about these glial cells. There's about 9 times as many, so 900 billion-ish glial cells. And what they do is they help support the neuron, they nourish it, and they're also the cleanup crew. So if a little neuron dies, the glial cells helps clean up, breaks it down, gets it out of the system. So you just want to know it goes from a negative charge and then over to depolarized, which means no charge, slightly hyperpolarized, positive, and then back to negative. That's called action potential. And then one quick thing you want to know also are these neurotransmitters. Hint, there's more than a couple of questions about this. So you have your acetylcholine that deals a great deal with fight or flight, and it was the first one that was discovered. Botox inhibits acetylcholine and paralyzes the muscles. Dopamine deals with movement and pleasure and addiction. And norepinephrine, fight or flight. Serotonin deals with sleep, mood, pain perception. So just go through these and make sure that you do know those from Module 2, Lesson 2. Okay, so Module 2, Lesson 3 gets into the parts of the nervous system. Let me highlight really what you need to know for the Module 2 quiz. Here you go. How the nervous system works. You got your central nervous system, which is your brain and spinal cord, and then everything going out and into the brain and spinal cord, the peripheral nervous system. Somatic is something that you intentionally do. Like if you raise your hand, that's voluntary. That's somatic. Autonomic is automatic. Then you have your sympathetic, which is the fight or flight, and parasympathetic, which is the calming. All right? So you just want to go through and review those pieces and kind of parts of the nervous system. You'll want to know these brain parts. So that brain excuse activity was intentional. I chose it because I knew it reflected a big part of what was going to be on the Module 2 quiz. Your lobes you definitely want to know. So I know it's a great deal, but I wanted to highlight the few things that you just really do want to go look through and review. All right, so Lesson 4 goes through more brain parts, just like the brain excuse activity. Definitely review it. Last but definitely not least, how you study the nervous system. And so there's a couple of things you want to just go through and review, like EEG. This is what you would use for sleep studies, for all kinds of things, studying just brain waves, but it's not invasive. They're just little electrodes that are attached onto the brain, but not from the outside. And then MRI, fMRI, the CAT scan, and MEG, PET scan. You just want to know those. And then last but not least for the quiz, the endocrine system. So make sure you know the hormones, and especially this slide in particular. All right. So anyway, that kind of covers it. I know it's a lot. To me, this is probably one of the most, vocabulary intensive modules, and then we'll move forward. It won't be too terrible bad. We have one more biological unit, and if you've taken a biology class, super quick and painless for you, I bet. But and then after that, we get into more theoretical stuff. Just so you know, You're going to do great. You have 2 attempts at it. Make sure you just go through and review and have a great rest of your weekend, and knock out that quiz soon. Thanks.